I'm certainly excited, and just like Kim said, it's a pleasure to be here talking with you about the 22nd shuttle flight to the International Space Station, STS-118. In the space station program, we call it 13A.1. Today is the 92nd day of Expedition 15. Commander Fyodor Yurchikhin, Flight Engineer Oleg Kotov, and today is Clay's 32nd day on orbit and his 30th day on board the International Space Station, and he's our Flight Engineer 2. And they're all up working and doing great things on board the International Space Station. Let me tell you a couple of things that are going on, that have gone on recently on the space station here since the last mission, STS-117 or 13A. First of all, we're continuing to gather data on the Russian computer system anomaly. We've been continually doing gathering data on the computers and actually the command boxes upstream of that, and are converging on a root cause for that problem. We've also, here last week, performed a major software upload on the U.S. segment. We've uploaded to version 6 of the U.S. command and control software, the version 6 of the U.S. guidance, navigation, and control software, and we also went to version 3 of the internal systems software. And finally, we have to go to a laptop, a PCS was what we call it, which is basically the crew interface to the U.S. computers. That's version 10. All that software goes together in a package, and we completed and actually pushed the button and went to the new versions on July 3rd last week, and finished uploading the rest of the boxes, and that software's been performing very well. Yesterday we began a major software upload for the Russian computer system. They're going to version 7.05. They began loading the software files up on orbit, and they're loading a couple of computers today, which will turn off. And next week we'll actually perform the major upgrade where we actually restart the computers with the new software. So that's ongoing right now. All these software upgrades are important for the U.S. side, certainly to support 13A1, the upcoming mission. It also supports other near-term activities, and the Russian software is important to support the ATV coming early next year. We're continuing to perform research on the U.S. segment. Clay Anderson's been performing an experiment called nutrition, and actually yesterday he set up some cameras out the U.S. segment windows to perform an experiment that involves middle schools around the country and around the world called EarthCam. So research is continuing. Saturday night, let me go, so one more thing. Well, Saturday night in Florida, we actually went out to the pad. When I say we went out to the pad, the ISS hardware that's on board, that will be on board STS-118 13A.1 went out to the pad in a vehicle we call the canister, which is an analog to the shuttle payload bay. So we're safely in the payload room out at the pad, and anxiously awaiting the arrival of the shuttle. We also, as you most likely have heard, we've recently signed a contract with Energia, one of the Russian contractors, to provide a ASU, is what we call it. Is what the Russians call it. It's really a toilet that'll support the ISS going to a 6-person crew. So that's a major step for us. Near-term activities on board the ISS. Actually, tomorrow is a big day for the ISS program. We'll actually activate for the first time the U.S. oxygen generation system. So that hardware's been on orbit for about almost a year, and we've been performing all the activities to activate it, including the vent, hydrogen vent, which we installed on the last shuttle flight. So the last major step in allowing us to activate was the upgrade of the software, which we completed last week. So tomorrow we expect to generate for the first time U.S. oxygen from water. And we're very much looking forward to that. This is just a test, by the way. If things go well, we expect to generate about 40 hours of oxygen, at which time we'll turn the system off for a while. It's really, at this point in time, we don't need it to generate oxygen continually for the ISS. We still have the Russian Electron system, and there's still oxygen aboard the Progress vehicles that are attached to the ISS. It's an additional capability, an additional redundancy level, and it also sets us up for 6-person crew. It's a major technology that's required to produce oxygen to support the 6 crew. A big step for us. Coming up later this month, on the 23rd, we have EVA, what we call EVA number 9. It's the 9th U.S. stage EVA. We'll go outside and we're going to install replace a power switch that recently failed. This power switch provides power to the mobile transporter, one string of power to the mobile transporter. We need to have that replaced prior to STS-118 13A.1. We're also going to install a video stanchion, and after we install that video stanchion, we're going to take the flight support equipment that's currently sitting outside on the external storage platform 2, and we're going to jettison it. We're also going to jettison from the P6 truss, we're going to jettison a refrigerator-sized object called the early ammonia servicer. That's required in order to support the relocation of the P6 truss on the next flight, 10A. And finally, we're going to clean some debris that's on the nadir port of the node, and this will allow us to support the relocation of PMA-3 to that location. Again, that's all these activities support putting Node 2 up there, and ultimately putting the partner modules on board the International Space Station. And the last thing prior to 13A.1 is the 26 Progress launch and docking. So lots of activities still to go prior to 118 on board ISS. But the purpose of today and tomorrow is to talk about 13A.1. It's important to the International Space Station program because we're going to install the S5 truss. This will allow us to launch next year the starboard final 2 arrays, the S6 truss, which has two more power generating arrays. It'll also allow us to install the external storage platform 3, which has critical spares. Specifically, it has the control moment gyro that we're going to replace on this flight. And then, as Kim pointed out, this is the activation of SPITS, which is the space station to the shuttle power transfer system. Basically takes the power on board the space station, which is 120 volts, steps it down to 28 volts for the shuttle to use, allows the shuttle to power down and actually stay on board the ISS. It's important for this flight. It's really important for the continued assembly of the International Space Station because having an additional 6 to 7 crew members on board ISS for a few extra days allows us to do a tremendous amount of work in terms of assembly, in terms of preparing the ISS to maximize the use of these remaining shuttle flights. So it's really important to us, and we're very much looking forward to the successful activation of SPITS on this flight. And the last thing, of course, we're doing on this flight, we're flying up a SpaceHab module which has a significant amount of ISS cargo, and we're going to transfer that cargo over to the International Space Station, which is, again, important to keep the crew on board. It's also a number of research activities and spares that are inside the SpaceHab. This flight really sets the stage for the remainder of the year for the ISS. In October, we're going to launch the Node 2 Harmony module, which is the place where we'll berth all the international partner modules. In December, we're going to launch